I'm Felicia. Sitting in my mother's former office, now mine, I'm watching the chaos unfold through the floor-to-ceiling windows on the 50th floor. Former partners scurry past, carrying boxes as security oversees their departure. It's a sight I've long awaited, a sweet revenge for all the humiliation I endured. My mind drifts back to the annual partners' dinner at Blackwood and Reed Law, my mother's favorite arena to showcase her success. The opulent private room at Le Chateau was filled with the chatter of New York's top lawyers. My mother, Isabella Blackwood, a renowned figure in corporate law, stood up with a glass of champagne in hand, a dazzling smile on her perfectly made-up face. Another outstanding year, she declared proudly. Our firm has handled mergers worth over $60 billion, expanded into 4 new countries, and welcomed 20 new equity partners. As she spoke, her eyes landed on me at the far end of the table. My mother continued, her voice dripping with feigned concern, my daughter Felicia is still looking for a job. Can't even get hired. Such a pity, despite her Yale law degree. The partners exchanged knowing glances. After all, Felicia Blackwood, the unemployed daughter of a top lawyer, was a hot topic of gossip. Edward Reed, my mother's longtime co-partner, patted my hand patronizingly. Have you tried the legal aid clinic, dear? They're always short-staffed. I took a small sip of water and discreetly checked my phone. Final signatures were confirmed, and the transfer was complete. My mother went on as if I wasn't there. Felicia has been sending out countless applications, but you know how it is. Not everyone has what it takes for high-end corporate law. Some partners chuckled politely. Maybe if I'd taken their summer internship, my mother sighed. Instead, she's wasting time on that little tech startup. What was it called again? Digital Law Innovations, I said quietly, keeping an eye on the time. Ah, another failed endeavor, my mother scoffed. You know, Felicia, it's not too late. I can make some calls for a junior position at a smaller firm. Just then, my phone vibrated. Stock transfer complete. Announcement time. I stood up slowly. I have an important announcement about digital law innovations. My mother's smile tightened. Felicia, please. This isn't the time for a startup pitch. These are serious professionals. But before I could reply, her secretary burst through the door, face as white as a sheet. Ms. Blackwood, the global merger is complete, but there's a problem with the ownership. My mother snapped impatiently, what about it? The shares, the secretary stammered, they've all been transferred to Digital Law Innovations. The room fell deathly silent. My mother's champagne glass froze halfway to her lips. I pulled out my tablet and said calmly, that's right. Digital Law Innovations now holds the controlling interest in Blackwood and Reed Law, along with its 15 international offices, 40 subsidiary firms, and all partner voting rights. My mother whispered in disbelief, that's impossible. We're a private firm, and our shares aren't on the open market. I smiled. You should have read the fine print in those merger documents you signed last month. You were too busy to go through them personally, thinking some things were beneath your attention. My mother's perfect composure cracked. This can't be true. We have safeguards. I continued smoothly, remember the routine update you all signed last month? The one that modified share transfer restrictions. I drafted that. It was just standard language for the African expansion, but it had a loophole regarding tech company acquisitions. My father, Robert Blackwood, a senior tax partner, was frantically scrolling through documents on his phone. I confirmed all subsidiary transfers, offshore accounts, partner profit shares, client lists, and trust accounts are now under Digital Law Innovations control. The room erupted in chaos as the 60 top lawyers in New York realized they'd been outmaneuvered. My mother blurted out, but your startup failed. That blockchain project and the AI system were disasters. I pulled up a presentation on the screen. Actually, the The so-called failed blockchain project now handles legal document verification for 4 major governments, and the AI system is processing cases for the United Nations. Edward Reed gasped, that would require billions in funding. $15 billion, to be exact, I replied. Remember that Singaporean investment firm you refused to meet with last year, Mom? Because Asian investors don't understand real law firms? Well, they understood me perfectly. My mother reached for her phone to call her lawyers. I laughed. Looking for Thompson and Green, your outside counsel? Check their ownership records. Digital Law Innovations acquired them last week, along with your backup counsel and their backup counsel. My father finally caught on. The regulatory implications. All taken care of, I cut in. Unlike some people, I learned a lot from watching you work. Every transfer and acquisition is completely legal. You taught me well, Mom, to always have ironclad documentation. I let the panicked partners scramble for a moment before dropping another bombshell. Those golden parachute clauses you added to your contracts last year? They only apply to traditional corporate takeovers. Tech company acquisitions are specifically excluded. Page 312, paragraph 4, subsection D. My mother stammered, you can't fire me. I raised an eyebrow. I can, and it's effective immediately. But I'm willing to offer you a position that suits your so-called essential qualities. What position? She asked, her voice barely audible. I pulled up the organizational chart on the screen. Junior associate. Starting salary $45,000 a year. You'll have to go through the interview process and pass the first round. The room went completely silent as these legal titans watched their world crumble. I continued, your office needs to be cleared by tomorrow. The senior partner suite is being renovated for Digital Law Innovations expansion. And from now on, I'll be giving that annual partner dinner speech. Now, in this once foreign office that's now mine, I'm brought back to reality by my new secretary, Miss Jenkins. Your parents are here, for the 4th time this morning. I glance at the security feed showing them in the lobby. My mother, who once wore designer suits like a second skin, is now in a simple dress. My father clutches a bundle of papers. Send them up, I say, turning to face the Manhattan skyline. And, Miss Jenkins, it's still a Miss Blackwood. I kept the name to savor this moment. They enter the office. My mother tries to assert herself, the Bar Association won't allow this. Handled, I reply coldly. We own their main event venue. They won't put up a fight. My father pleads, Felicia, please. Let us stay as consultants, like you were once an intern here. I turned to face them. You fired me in 3 days. You said you wanted to toughen me up. Well, congratulations, it worked. My phone buzzes. Africa secured, South America secured. Partners are officially locked out. They'll sue, my father tries. With what money? Their accounts are frozen, I reply. My mother's voice trembles, the clients won't stay with you. I laugh, I've already spoken to them. They're more interested in innovation than old-fashioned methods. Just then, my tablet chimes. The International Court of Justice has accepted our blockchain-based brief. My mother finally whispers, what do you want? I stand up, smoothing my Armani suit. I already have what I wanted, respect, power, and the satisfaction of seeing you realize I'm more than just your failed daughter. Now, security will show you out. I shred the papers my father brought. We don't hire based on legacy anymore. As they leave, I sit back in my chair, looking out at the city. Some people are just born to take what's theirs, and today, I've claimed my rightful place.